Hello everybody, welcome to another video. I'm joined with Finn, Lewis and Charlie. Today we are talking about our 11 for the Euros coming up. There's obviously been a lot of talk about it recently, so we're just going to give our thoughts on what we think it should be and what Gareth should be lining up with. So obviously we'll start with goalkeeper. I've gone with Nick Pope.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yep.
I don't think Henderson stands a chance of getting in the squad at the minute.
No.
And Pickford's Pickford, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think all three of them are prone to mistakes. Pope, mainly in distribution.
Yeah.
Henderson, I've never seen Henderson make like a 10 out of 10 save. Like, he makes like the good saves, like the average saves you need to make, but I've never seen him make a 10 out of 10. And then Pickford makes the 10 out of 10 saves, but then also just misses a complete like 2 out of 10.
Yeah, the games I've seen Henderson have, like, nothing has been enough to say, yeah, he should be England's number one.
Yeah, I think Pope's played the last few games as well, just stick him in there. And I think if he has a couple more warm-up games, he should probably improve his distribution a little bit and adjusted to playing at like that pace of football. Because obviously, Burnley is just give the ball to Pope, lump the ball up to Barnes or Wood. So I think he just needs a bit of practice getting used to playing it around the back, and then he should be all right.
Yeah, I mean, I think Southgate will still go with Pickford anyway, because Pickford's got his Southgate's got his favourites, but obviously I think Pope is the better keeper.
Yeah, I think I'd definitely say Pope, but you could see in those in that international break, he did make a few like distribution mistakes.
Yeah,
like you can tell that's where his weak area.
Yeah, he just seemed like he didn't really know what he was doing.
I do feel better having him in goal. I would feel much better than having him in goal than Pickford.
Yeah. I feel safer as him at the back, and like he does his main job well. Like the main job of the goalkeeper is to stop shots going in, and like you say, distribution's lacking. But realistically, the best man for the job is the person that can save the most shots. I think you're safe with Pope.
I think Pickford only really got his favoured spot because of that penalty shootout.
Yeah. That's the good thing he's doing.
He did really well in that penalty shootout, fair enough. But since then, I mean, what's he done? Like, that's amazing.
With them make mistakes.
Yeah, Pickford just dives like so dramatic as well.
He over dramatises everything. I don't get like why. And he always draws the centre forwards in, lets them come right towards him, and then he made a few mistakes there and giving the ball away.
Yeah.
Right, moving on to right back, which for me was one of the harder choices to make because of how many we fucking have. It took me a while to come to the conclusion, but I think I'm going with Kyle Walker. For me, it was between Kyle Walker and Reece James, but I'm going with Kyle Walker because of my other centre-back choice. That kind of persuaded me as well. So I'm going with Kyle Walker because I think he's good at attacking. He's not the best at defending as an English right back, but I think when he does make mistakes, he can cover himself quite well because he's quick and he can track back really well.
Yeah, I've got Walker. Reece James would have been my second as well before Trent being my third. And then obviously Aaron Wan-Bissaka. We've got so many good right backs. I like Trippier as well. But I just have to go with Walker. He's the most consistent. And he is prone to a mistake, but I feel like all of his England mistakes was when Southgate played him in a back three as like a centre back, not as actually a right back. So I think he's the easiest choice in right back, most consistent.
Yeah, I went with Walker as well. I don't know. I feel sorry for Trent because like I would have been going with Trent just purely because of how good he is at attacking. But I think if like
as a defender, he's not.
I don't know. Yeah, you're gonna want a solid defender on the right hand side there. Like, and I feel like Walker's like the best all round.
Yeah.
At like everything. Like he's like an all round right back rather than just attacking or just defending.
Yeah, like as the England team, we've never been that solid at the back, so we need to kind of be as secure as we possibly can.
Yeah.
I've gone with
The only
Trippier.
thing.
Ooh,
Okay, you
Sorry,
go
go
first.
on, carry on.
No, you carry on.
Okay. Yeah, I originally put Walker and I wanted to put Reece James, but I thought in the end it's we've got a chance this year to win the Euros, and I think we need someone who's proved themselves well in a tournament. Obviously, Trippier was decent in the World Cup. I think we need an experienced player, someone who's experienced playing with England as well, and then put him on set pieces as well. He's got decent set pieces, and obviously in the World Cup we had so many goals from set pieces that I think that's a good avenue to go down with the Euros. So that's why I put Trippier in.
That's understandable. Yeah, set pieces were our main kind of danger, and experience-wise, I'm kind of worried that's the reason he'll pick Lingard to go over Grealish.
I think Grealish
Yeah,
gets in
could
the squad, but I don't know.
For right centre-back, which was partly the reason why I chose Walker, was Stones. So, because he's been standout this season, he's kind of re-emerged, and it's so good to have that chemistry between the two players. So, Stones is a definite for me.
Yeah, Stones.
I think
he's my nailed on centre-back.
Yeah,
he's definitely the most in form of the whole back four. In fact, he's probably the most in form English defender. However, I know again he made mistakes. He made mistakes the other night against Poland. He made a couple of mistakes in the World Cup, particularly. It was the Nations League, wasn't it? When we played Holland, that he made a really ropey mistake. But I do think he has gotten a bit better. And I think once he's got a bit more composed and a couple more England games under his shirt, then he's nailed on.
him being next to Diaz has definitely helped him, because Diaz is the more commanding centre back, so it kind of takes that pressure off of Stones, which is kind of worrying in the England back line, because we don't really have like a commanding centre back like that. Like, I mean, you can argue Maguire, but at the end of the day, his quality isn't great.
Yeah, I went with Stones as well, just purely. Just got kind of a pattern with the back four, really. It's good because obviously, he's plays with Kyle Walker, and then with the other two, it's going to be similar for me.
Yeah,
when we get to them, but yeah, he's really in form. Obviously, he's having a great season, and out of all the centre backs, I'd probably trust him the most. I know that he makes mistakes and stuff, but
yeah,
just the form that he's in, I think he'll do well.
For left centre back, I've gone Harry Maguire. But
I went Maguire.
If Gomez is to be fit, then I would choose Gomez. I would also give Konsa a mention, because I think he's been one of the best English centre backs this season. But
I like Konsa, and like you say, he's played well for Villa, but I think to not see him play in the senior squad and bring him along to the Euros would be a bit of not only a risk, but maybe, like you say, if Gomez is fit, a bit harsh on Gomez. Obviously, Gomez is a quality centre back.
Yeah, and
there's only so many that you can take along. Going back to my choice, I did pick Maguire. Like you said, we need a commanding centre back, and if we've got Stones in centre back and we're negative to Maguire, as many are, and being left hands, but he's all right.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm worried about with them two is they both like to take the ball forward. So you always kind of need one to stay back a bit more.
They're quite similar centre backs,
Yeah.
We don't really have a quick centre back, do we? We've got the two big boys, and then there's not really anyone fast, is there?
Yeah, Gomez is the fastest at the end of the day, but then I mean, his pace will get dwarfed by someone, like Kyle Walker. He comes up against a winger and he'll get done.
Yeah, I've got Maguire just basically because we need some big heads in the box, and obviously that's the thing he's best at.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the rest of my team. There's probably, I mean, if you count Stones, but Stones isn't actually that big a centre back. He's quite tall, but he's not huge. And then I've probably argued my DM could probably go up for headers, and then obviously Harry Kane. But I think other than that, we need as many big heads in the box again to exploit where we were good at set pieces.
That's the thing. You can put anything into the box, and Harry Maguire will get his head on it. Like he'd throw a bus in there, and he'll fucking head it out.
Yep.
Right, for left back, for chemistry, and obviously, well, chemistry helps, but he has been the best, one of the best left backs in the league this season. Luke Shaw. I think it's pretty much a no-brainer. Chilwell's not in the starting 11 at all. It's got to be Shaw.
Yeah. I think Shaw's been a lot more consistent defensively as well. I think Chilwell does offer a fair bit going forward, but going back, he's awful. Whereas I think Shaw is probably like a solid 7 out of 10 at both.
Yeah.
Whereas I probably Chilwell like an 8 going forward and like a 4 defended.
Yeah.
So I think Shaw's just the better option just because he is a bit more reliable, and I feel like his head's a bit more screwed on. And also, it's an opportunity for him to prove himself again because he has fluffed up his career. He should have been a much better player, or the player is now a few years ago. So, I mean, he's easily the first choice. And Chilwell would probably have to be my second choice because we haven't got any other left backs unless we played Sack. But I'd still probably say Shaw and then Chilwell.
Yeah.
Thing about Saka is he's good in different positions, but you don't want to play someone who's good in other positions at left back when we're coming against like strong side. Like we've got Croatia first. I wouldn't feel comfortable having Saka left back because he'd just get exposed.
Yeah.
And I'd originally, until about 2 hours ago, put Chilwell because Shaw seems like he's come out of nowhere this season. And I actually forgot I was speaking to Charlie about him. I actually forgot that Shaw had played so well just because it's literally come out of the blue. It's obviously he's competing with Alex Telles for that left back position. He's really outshone in this season.
Yeah.
And like you say, Chilwell, he's good going forward, like he scored in the Champions League last night. But yeah, going backwards is not so. Obviously, I've put Shaw in ahead of him.
I was for the same reasons. I do think Shaw is a good left back, but again, he doesn't offer anywhere near as much as Shaw does defensively. I think that's probably, knowing how defensive Southgate is, that's obviously going to be something that he was looking at. And Saka. I think Saka will get into the squad because he's got a lot of flexibility where he can play his stuff. But I just don't think he's I feel like he's more of like a bench player. Do you know what I mean?
I think Southgate quite a lot
to fill gaps.
Yeah, I can't see him. I don't know. I just can't see him ahead of anyone else. But I could see him in the squad.
Yeah, I think he'll get in the squad. But I mean, whether he actually gets any game time, I don't know. Had James Justin not been injured, James Justin would have been my first or second choice without a doubt.
It would be my first 100% if he was fully fit.
Definitely.
Moving on to CDM, because I've got a formation of 4-2-3-1. My first CDM is Henderson.
I've got one CDM and it's Declan Rice.
Yeah, me too.
I'm the same as Finn.
I really, really wanted to put Henderson in because I haven't been keeping track of his injury, but obviously he's injured at the moment. Had he? Oh, this is the one that I really, really wanted to put in, but I just couldn't fit him in over Declan Rice or the rest of the midfield because he's such a leader and he's proven time and time again that he's a quality player. Yeah. I feel like he's probably one of England's most reliable players.
He's so commanding on the pitch.
Yeah.
Even when Kane's captain, even though Henderson's vice, they basically play the same role.
Yeah. Yeah, but unfortunately, he couldn't trump Declan Rice.
You go, Finn, sorry.
Well, I was just going to say Rice is in the top 3 DMs in the Premier League. I'd say Fabinho and Didi and Rice are the top 3 DMs in the Premier League. Yeah. So he's by far the best English DM. Calvin Phillips is nowhere near him. I won't even take him.
No,
don't like him.
He's staying.
Henderson's got to be sub. And then, Calvin Phillips is definitely... I'd take Ward-Prowse over Calvin Phillips as well. But he's more centre mid.
Ward-Prowse is one of the best box-to-box midfielders we have.
Yeah.
And again, he's good on set pieces. Very, very good at set pieces.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the
insane.
best in the league at set pieces.
Even in open play, his crossing and passing is crazy.
Yeah. Moving on to my other CDM, it would be Declan Rice for the reasons just mentioned.
Yeah, I've not got another DM. So, is there anyone else?
No, I've got one.
Yeah. Like I said, I was really wanting to have another defensive midfielder, but I just couldn't over the other players in midfield.
Right, obviously in replacement, I've got like 2 cams rather than like, or maybe 2 centre mids. And the first one of them is James Maddison.
Yeah, it's Maddison for me.
It explains itself really. He's absolutely quality. He's got better stats than Mount in less time, and just because he plays for Leicester, no one's really noticing it.
Yeah.
And when he's fully fit, he has the ability to change again. I feel Mount is a very good player, and he is my second cam anyway. But
I do really like Mount.
I do like Mount. He's just not as good as Maddison.
Yeah, Maddison's stats have proven to be better.
Yeah.
And
He's been
I feel
unlucky
like,
with injury.
I just think it's just one of them players that Southgate doesn't like.
yeah.
No.
And the reason I put Maddison over Mount in the first place is because Maddison's got the ability to turn something from nothing. Say if we're passing it around for ages, I feel like, he'll open up a shot of like from, I don't know, 30 yards out or whatever.
Yeah,
And
he's always going to create chances.
Yeah. He reminds me, Maddison's the first player at Leicester since Mahrez where we've had a player that can unlock defences in a unique way when we're playing poorly. And Maddison is the closest I've seen to. He's not quite at Mahrez level, but he is the closest I've seen to that, and he's getting better. Like a year ago, my opinion of him wasn't as high as what it is now. He's had a much better season this year. He just needs to add that final finishing touch, and he'll be perfect cam.
Yeah.
And then obviously my other options, Mason Mount. Once again, he's a quality player. I don't have anything against him. He's just not quite Maddison.
Yeah, going back to Maddison, I think he really deserves his spot because he's never even spoken about. Like he's literally an afterthought, and I just think when I know we can talk about stats and it doesn't reflect everything, but stats wise he's better. And when you watch him play, I feel like he's better. Like you said, Finn, he can really unlock defenses, and he's wanted to change the way he plays. Like he said, like he's always looked up to Lampard, and Lampard gets in the goals, and he's always finding that space, and he's this season when he's been fit, he's been able to do that and get in among the goals. I think that would be perfect in our starting 11. But
I think it's a massive shame he got injured when he did before the England friendlies.
Yeah.
I think that's really hurt his chances of going in the summer.
I think same for Harvey Barnes and James Justin, really. All 3 of them have harmed it. But I feel Maddison will make the squad. So if he gets played, I feel like he'll make the squad and only play like in the games that we don't really care about.
It'll be like when Vardy played in the World Cup. It'll just be a throwaway match.
Yeah. I mean, Maddison's still got time to get in. There's how many games left? 7?
Yeah, and he is back 8? Now. And he's back. Back to full fitness. So, did anyone else use Mount, by the way?
Yeah,
I actually haven't put Maddison in, but
oh shit!
I literally like between like I've kind of done like 2 attacking midfielders like ahead of Declan Rice, but they're kind of interchangeable because I just couldn't decide. I've got like Grealish on the left, like as a left cam, and then Foden on the right as the right cam. But I'd swap them between Mount and Maddison because I literally just couldn't. I just think it's such a difficult decision, but in my opinion, I do think Mount is fourth place really to those 4. Like the reason I've not got Grealish like on a wing because I'll just come back to it when we go ahead. But I've basically got 4-3-3. But I put him as a cam for a reason.
I agree. Starting my attackers, at right attacking mid, I've got Foden.
Yeah, so, I've got Foden.
I've got Sancho.
It's got to be Foden.
I've got Foden as like a right winger. So
it's basically like the same right mid, right winger, right attacking mid, whatever. Yeah, I think Foden this year has really shone. I mean, every time he's played an England shirt, he's put in an absolute shift. You can see it with Man City as well. I think with Sancho, he does all right for Dortmund, but I've never seen him do anything great in an England shirt.
No.
So
Sancho's my third choice for right winger.
Yeah.
He's had a really poor season in general. Dortmund aren't doing that very well. So my second choice would be Sterling.
Yeah, same.
After Foden. But yeah, Foden is future England captain, undeniably. I think he's
quality. Like you said, Billy, when he puts on that England shirt, he performs as well as he does for his club, and that's not often the case.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the only one that's gone different. Basically, I was just thinking, like, because obviously Kane, we've all got Kane, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking with how Kane plays, like dropping deep and stuff, like having those two cams either side and then the two wingers out on the wide, like they could, like, you want two cams that would like exploit that space that's going to be made. So I was thinking like Foden and Grealish on either of those sides, like they're like great at carrying the ball up, basically.
Yeah.
And into spaces like that. So that's why I didn't put Foden on a wing or Grealish on a wing. And then I just went for Sancho because I thought he'd done all right for us, to be honest. But I don't know.
Sancho is decent. I'd like him to perform as well as I thought he was going to. But I think
in a few years.
Yeah. I think he's still got a bit of time to prove himself. And yeah, I know Foden isn't like a traditional winger in the sense that, like you talk about, Charlie, how like they can come deep and make gaps in the defense. So I put him there just basically to fit him in the team, and then he can, cut inside and drop in and play how he likes to.
To be fair, looking at my team now, I'd probably make a different decision to just with what I've got in my left winger. But I'll get to that when we get to that.
Right, for my next position, for my cam, my number 10, I've gone Jack Grealish.
Again, I've got Grealish, but he's on left wing.
Yeah, I've got him left wing. Can't miss Grealish out. He's like Foden. That's
the thing. Grealish has to start.
Yeah, Grealish is the most consistent English player. Looking at this whole thing,
the way he carries the ball as well. Like no one else does it like he does in the team. Yeah. And I mean, you saw from the performances he put in against Belgium and stuff. I mean, he was the best player on the pitch, and
he was our best player against Belgium.
He has to play.
Oh, yeah.
I think him and Foden are key to us even having a chance at winning the Euros.
Yeah.
I don't even know how the Grealish thing is even like a debate. It shouldn't even be a debate at all.
Yeah. Just Southgate, the reason he's one of them players, like, does not want to put him in that squad.
No, it's so blatantly obvious to everyone else other than Southgate.
That's the thing. And he will play Lingard. He will put Lingard in the team over Grealish just because of in the last 2-3 years he's had one good month of football. Like, you can't do that.
No.
I just don't think there's anyone that carries the ball like Grealish carries it. He can just be in his fucking box and then 5 seconds later be in theirs.
He's all over the place.
He consistently has a 7 out of 10 performance for Aston Villa, who realistically aren't that good a side. I mean, without Grealish, Villa get relegated. So
yeah. I mean, he kept it up last season.
You can see now that he's been injured, how they've been struggling.
Mm-hmm.
He is such a massive part of that team. He's the biggest cog in the machine.
Which, to be fair, shows as well, even just leadership as well, skills as well as it's not just carrying the ball, the effect that he has on his team.
Yeah.
At that level where you can actually notice it, you can tell. I just don't. I can't get my head around how it's even a debate that whether he starts or not. It's just ridiculous.
That's the thing. Everyone else can seem to pick a better team than Southgate. It's just Southgate's the only one that can't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For left attacking mid, or your guys left wing, or wherever your position is, I've gone for Sterling because I think he's the best we've got in that position as a winger. I don't think Sancho is good enough. I don't think Greenwood's good enough at all. Rashford puts in the odd occasional performance, but it's not consistent enough. And Sterling, he's not been as good as he has been this season as he was last season, but I think when the time comes, he can still put a shift in, as proven.
Mine's Grealish, as we already said. So
yeah, mine's Grealish. Like I said, I wanted to put Sterling in, but I couldn't. He couldn't get in over Grealish.
Yeah, Sterling's the one player I've left out that I'd like to try and find a way to put in the squad. In fact, I'd maybe argue take out Mount, put Foden back, and then play Sterling and Grealish. So like Foden and Maddison behind the striker. But I think it's more likely that. Well, no, I'd prefer to have Maddison Mount in the squad as well. But I think that's probably what the best thing is to do.
I've gone with Sterling. It's really hard fitting everyone in, but like what you just said, Finn, that's basically what I've done. Like, played the two attacking midfielders just behind them. But to be fair, I feel like, I don't know. I was debating Rashford. I was debating Rashford, but I don't know if he's done enough for us. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like, I was thinking maybe put Sterling on the right instead, and then Rashford on the left, and then obviously you've got that partnership with Luke Shaw on the left side, and then you got Walker and Sterling and Foden on the right. If we're going off what I've done here,
yeah, that's not bad. Ow.
But yeah, I went with Sterling. I do think Sterling needs to be in the squad. Yeah.
Like Grealish is best in that position, but because I've played him elsewhere, that's why Sterling's got in the team. Like if I was to have it another way around, it would be Grealish in Sterling's position on the left and Maddison in the middle. But
I mean, Marcus Rashford for me has to go, but he doesn't start left wing. But I'd take him based purely on the fact that he can play left wing and then he can play striker. Means we only need to take Kane and Calvert-Lewin and then have Rashford as like a backup for them two.
Yeah.
But that's only as like a squad player. And he's quite experienced. I know he's young, but he has had quite a lot of England call-ups.
Yeah,
that's quite a good point.
I'd take him and I'd have him if Kane got injured. I'd rather Rashford play if Kane's injured than Calvert-Lewin, personally.
Yeah, because he offers.
I think Calvert-Lewin's better coming off the bench or better starting and then getting subbed off.
Calvert-Lewin is just a worse Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Whereas Rashford offers something completely different. He offers pace to get in behind defences and, he'll dribble at players and stuff. Whereas Calvert-Lewin will just try and get his head on things.
Yeah, exactly.
I was thinking, if we're talking about the 23, the squad like later on, but I think Bamford's been quite unlucky because he's kind of like a B-Tech Kane.
Yeah.
Like,
I
feel like he could fill in for Kane, and nothing much would change.
I wouldn't mind taking Danny Ings.
Yeah. Well, we need natural finishers like Kane.
I think Ings would get in as a sub over Calvert-Lewin or Bamford for me personally. Yeah,
now that Bamford's mentioned, I would have him over Calvert-Lewin because his finishing's better, and that's what we need as a front man.
I've obviously got Kane. I've got Calvert-Lewin as his sub just because he is like for like. So if Kane gets injured, we can play the same way and put him in. Then if I didn't take them, I'd take Ings. Then I'd take Bamford, and then I'd take Watkins. That would be my fourth.
I like Watkins, but he's not.
Yeah, he's not England Euro level.
I think Bamford and Watkins have both been really good this year, but they've not proved it as much as Ings and Calvert-Lewin have, personally.
Yeah.
Which is why I take Calvert-Lewin just because he's the most in form, and then Ings just on experience, and obviously he's not exactly not in form either.
Yeah. And the thing is, you can't just take him on like one good kind of season, like kind of standout season. I mean, especially going to a Euros as well, because it's a completely different experience. The pressure is high. You need players that can deal with that.
Yeah.
I mean, some players thrive under pressure, as shown. Like Phil Foden, he seems to thrive under it, but some players won't take it so well.
Yeah.
Then I'm obviously guessing we've already established we've all got Kane.
Striker Kane, yeah, he's the one nailed on, ain't he?
Kane can play absolutely horrendously shit and still score a goal. That's why I like him. He's one of the players do that. He can literally be having a 2 out of 10 game, be absolutely awful, and then he literally will ping off his cock and go in. He's just one of them players that you need in your team. He's a lot like Gary Lineker in the sense that he doesn't need to score the fancy goals all the time, but he just scores when we need
As long
it.
as he's scoring the goals, that's what a striker's job is: score goals. And like you said, he doesn't have to have a good game, but he can still get a goal from it. Doesn't matter how he scores them, as long as he's getting the goals.
Yeah, and penalties.
He's one of those.
He's
one of those players as well. He's not like. You can see, like, I can't remember what game it was, but it basically showed where he touched the ball, and he's just all over the pitch. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's just everywhere. He's just one of those players. He's not just a straight striker. Like, he works hard for like the whole team. Like,
yeah, he comes in deep. But that is one thing I'm kind of worried about with English squad, because when they played recently, I can't remember who it was against, but it was one of the friendlies, or it was whatever it was recently, and Kane was coming really deep and kind of dropping to like Calvin Phillips's level, and that means we've got no one in the centre up front, so there's no one to pass to. Like, England don't play the same way as Tottenham, so I'm just hoping Kane kind of stays forward. So when we need to lump the ball into the box and to get his head on it, he's not trying to fucking win the ball deep and pass it off himself. I mean, he has improved his game this year, like with his passing and stuff. Like, he has done really well, and he's not just scoring goals now; he's assisting them too. But,
and especially in your formation that you've got, Billy, you've got 2 CDMs. Like, Kane does not need to be coming back. Even arguably with one CDM, like Rice or Henderson or whoever you put in, they're going to be doing that job. Like, stay forward.
That's the thing. The teams we've made, they are strong enough to win the ball back and give it to Kane. Kane needs to stay on that back line.
Yeah. I think with like mine and Charlie's, well, I mean, me having them as wingers, but Charlie having Grealish and Foden behind Kane literally means Kane doesn't need to leave the box.
Yeah.
Foden and Grealish are then the players who need to carry it forward, even if they're on the wing or at cam. I think that's the reason I play them too, because they both get the ball and look up. They don't try and take people on. They will play the ball. They can play the ball. They can take the ball. Whatever is the best at getting us forward at the time. I think they're the most versatile in that kind of way. They've got different aspects of the game, and it means that Kane can just stay and do his number 9 role rather than trying to be a number 10.
Yeah.
That was kind of my reasoning behind it. Like you said, that's a reason for him to stay out, but he also, like, that is a part of his game. He has a tendency to drop deep, so he's going to bounce it at some point. And like, I just think that having those 2 behind, they could move into that space. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think that would be a solid 2 to have behind Kane, because they could exploit that space that he leaves if he does drop deep. But obviously, like you said, Finn, he doesn't actually have a need to with those 2 behind him.
Yeah. And I think it just shows his leadership quality. Like, obviously, he's going to be the leader attacking forward. And even if somehow he does drop back, I feel confident having Foden drift into that position, or Grealish drift in that position, or Maddison or Mount drift forward. So if that is the problem, which it shouldn't be, but if it is, then I still feel confident, like, on the counter attack, or like taking the ball forward if he wins it in midfield.
That's the thing you've seen, especially Maddison this season. Like, noticed it more so, that how far forward he's been getting. He's not just kind of hanging around in the box. He's getting into the box, and in some cases, he's been going further than Vardy. So we've always got them players who will always run further forward, because, you know, Kane's not going to sprint past like three defenders. He's just going to kind of sit there, receive the ball, and either pass it off or shoot. Whereas we've got other players to run in behind for him.
Yeah, I was going off, because you know how I was saying I didn't put Maddison in, but he could easily go into that position.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking about them running forward. Like, you could see, like, I'm trying to think, like, you know, when he got that, you know, when that goal against Tottenham was disallowed, like, how far he ran when Justin, like, hoofed it up. And he was like miles ahead. Like, he's showing that he has the ability to run, like, ahead of the defenders and stuff, ahead of like Vardy or whatever. So, like, yeah, I think it's actually crazy. We're literally so blessed with attacking players like England are, and they're probably not going to get used. And
that's the thing. Like, sorry,
get knocked out.
No, I was just. That's the thing. The problem we have with our midfield and our attackers is we've got so many good ones that we're struggling to fit them in the team, and that's a good problem to have. but equally, when you're leaving out, like we spoke about, I didn't want to leave out Sterling because he's really good, but other players push him out the team, and it's obviously a better problem to have than not having enough attacking players.
Yeah, it's a shame we haven't got better centre backs.
Yeah, we had a solid back line and then, like, you know, just another solid keeper. Like, I think we do have. I mean, this is our best chance of winning a European Cup. It's here.
Yeah.
This is our best chance.
I've got a question to ask actually. If Martinez, Aston Villa's keeper, could be convinced to change his nationality to English, would you take him and play him over Pope?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I would.
He's been outstanding for Villa.
Because he can play for England because he's like lived here for so long.
I didn't realise that.
He's lived here a long time because he came through Arsenal's academy setup.
Yeah.
Because he can now declare. I think he has got Argentina caps, but there's like a rule where, like, if you're under like 5 caps or whatever, you can still declare for somewhere else. It's like Damari Gray's meant to be claiming for Jamaica now because he's never going to get an England squad, whereas he's just
loads of people are.
Yeah. So
to be fair, I thought that was a joke because I think we were playing pro clubs and Aaron said it.
Aaron was on about.
I didn't realise he actually could do that. Mate, get him in.
Yeah.
Right, so we've given our 11s. Just off the top of my head, who do you think misses out that should go?
Who we think misses out?
Yeah, who do we think that Southgate will not choose? Not who we don't want to go, but who we think Southgate will make a mistake.
Wan-Bissaka's not going. No chance. No. I don't think Trent will go. I think Trippier.
I was thinking about that because obviously recently he obviously didn't pick him for the squad, and maybe, hopefully, I'm hoping that means he's actually noticed ups and downs in form. So people who should go that don't usually go will hopefully go, and then hopefully some of the favourites will get dropped for better players.
I think Trent will end up going. Personally,
you think Trent will go?
I think by the end of the season, I think they'll pick it up a bit. It's a weird one with Trent because I don't know if it's because Liverpool aren't playing well or if it's like him himself or like
he just gets caught in like behind too easy.
Yeah. He was awful against Real Madrid the other day.
Yeah, he was so bad.
Oh yeah, I watched that. He was shit.
If he makes the team though, you've got to then drop Walker, James, Shaw, Chilwell, and I'd probably say Trippier is the other fullback that goes just because he can play on both sides. Who of them would you drop for Trent? Because I think all of them are more deserving of it based on form this season. Even if Trent does 9 out of 10 for the rest of the season, I do think it's too late.
Yeah.
I think if Southgate was willing to drop him in the first place, I think he would be willing to drop him for the whole thing.
I was thinking more Southgate. Like I don't know what goes on in his head. I'm not sure if he's doing it or not.
Yeah,
it just depends. Probably. I think it depends on Liverpool's form this back end of the season. Because I think if they have a mad run, get back in the Champions League, and he like gets his stats up a bit, I think he'll get back in. Personally,
it is a tough one.
Maddison misses out as well. Maddison's not going.
I don't think Maddison's going. He 100% should, but Southgate will not choose him.
Same with Barnes.
Barnes won't go.
If Barnes had stayed fit and carried on playing the way he was, I think he would have just scraped a chance. Which
I think he would have been like a
so good. Yeah,
I love Barnes to pieces, but to be honest, all of the other 5 wingers I've got written down go over him.
Yeah,
that's Foden, Sancho, Sterling, Grealish,
I'm still not sure if he's ready. To be fair,
as much as
he has got so much better this season. He's got literally so much better this season, but I still don't know if he's ready for it.
No, I think
a few more years.
Him and Maddison won't make the Euro squad, but it's in the first World Cup qualifiers straight after. I promise you they'll probably be in the team.
Yeah,
I hope so.
I reckon they'll be in the team then.
I think Johnston misses out for Henderson, Pickford and Pope.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's nailed on. I think them 3.
Calvin Phillips will go, but I don't want him to.
Yeah, I don't want him to go. I've got him written down for CDM, but I've crossed him out, as in I wouldn't take him my 20.
My dad the other day was literally like, who the hell's that? He didn't even know who it was.
Yeah.
He was literally like, wait, who?
I do not rate him at all.
Aaron puts it well. He, the reason he wasn't picking Grealish was because, you have to prove yourself in the Premier League. But Calvin Phillips hadn't even played a single game in the Premier League, and he was already called up from the Championship.
Everything Southgate says doesn't make sense. Like, he said the same thing about Hudson-Odoi. He got an England cap before he even started for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what's that
Just
about?
whim choices like that. It doesn't make sense.
And Southgate would always say, like, how much he loves his young players, but then he's only just brought up, like, Grealish when he could have brought him up a couple of years ago. Like, Maddison as well. Like, he likes his young players, but why are you not bringing them up? Like, yeah, they've obviously improved massively since then, but they still showed quality back then.
I've got a few honourable mentions I did want to put in, but they just don't get in. Like, we spoke about him a bit, but Lingard, like, I like Lingard, and he is in good form, but it's really recent good form, and I don't like his mentality. Like, when we saw him play again, who did we play the other day? Where he played?
Albania, Poland.
Oh yeah, he was so greedy.
San Marino was really
San Marino, yeah. He had like 7 or 8 shots, and you can just tell that's his mentality. Like, I'm back in the team. I want to score. I want to show people that I should be the one scoring.
Yeah,
I don't like that mentality. He's not playing like a team.
Yeah, he's so selfish. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Like, I think Southgate will play him and will start him just because he was in that World Cup team, and Southgate will see him as one of his favourites.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think, like, centre backs wise, who's going to be the backup centre backs?
I'd say
probably Mings
Konsa and Cody.
I think he'll make it Mings and Cody. But
Mings and Cody's who goes.
It should be Konsa.
Konsa's better than Mings in every way, and everyone can see that.
I can't believe Mings gets called up and Konsa doesn't.
Yeah, and then I'd have Cody as the 4th centre back if I had to take someone else.
Yeah,
I think Cody goes anyway, but I think that's.
I mean, but how long is Gomez out for? I don't actually know, but I think otherwise
I don't think he'll go. I've penned it down. I don't think he'll go.
He won't be going. I think he's not even like close to being back yet.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what he's doing. I can't remember what he's doing.
I didn't really
feel like it's 2 months he's gone.
But had he played the whole season, I think he probably should have gone. Definitely.
Well, I think if Gomez was fit, he definitely goes, but it's whether he's fit or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not worth it.
He's better than Cody by far. He's better than Maguire. He's our best centre back. To be honest,
it would be Stones and Gomez starting if we could have the choice of anyone.
Yeah.
When does the Euros actually start? Is it July?
June 22nd.
Is it June?
June's the day after everything.
Oh yeah, of course it is.
Oh yeah. Oh okay.
That's
I don't think it'll be.
Starts with obviously before.
Yeah. I think the thing is, like, even if he is fit, he's missed out on all that game time.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll end up going.
Yeah, Southgate won't take him. And
see, that's the similar thing with Barnes. Like, Barnes ain't going to be back. Like, I don't know how long it is now, but he'll probably be back for the last 4 or 5 games, maybe.
Yeah, Barnes will be back for the last 2 games. Yeah, I don't think he's got enough time.
No.
The only way Barnes gets in that squad is if we get to the FA Cup final and then he has an absolutely amazing game in the final. And I can't see that happening.
I think the only way Maddison gets into the team now is if he scores in literally every game. Because Southgate...
he's got to do something, unfortunately.
I don't think Ings, Bamford or Watkins will go either.
No, yeah. I think Ings definitely should go. But yeah, I think he'll miss out.
Yeah, I think Bamford should be acknowledged.
There's actually so many. I'm trying to even think now of who else.
Oh, yeah, I've got loads of people. I think James Ward-Prowse goes.
Yeah.
I think Jude Bellingham goes.
Bellingham goes. Southgate really likes him. I think he's a good player, but I don't know if I don't think he should be starting.
Yeah, no, I don't think he should be starting. I do still think it should just be Rice and then Maddison in front of him. But Bellingham is there as another centre mid because he can play CDM and he can play like Cam as well. He is more like a centre mid.
Yeah, can he play on the wing?
I think he can. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like he played a bit on the wing for Birmingham, but don't quote me on that. But yeah,
with Ward-Prowse, I think Ward-Prowse would have made, or he's a very, very good shout for my starting 11 if I'd picked James or Walker over Trippier, just because of his set pieces and his ability to do the same in open play with his crossing and his passing. I just think to have that quality and then have Kane in the box, it would be something that we need.
Yeah.
And I like him anyway. He's reminds me of Andy King. He never really does anything too special, but he won't really put a foot wrong either.
Yeah, he always puts.
He's a good player to bring on when to hold a lead.
I feel like he goes quite unnoticed.
Mm. Yeah. If we go 1-0 up against like Croatia or whatever, and it's like the 70th minute, I'll bring on Ward-Prowse or Mount or Maddison and just see it out. He's a little bit more defensive. It'll help keep possession a bit better.
Yeah.
This is just a random question because I was just thinking about random English players. But has Cresswell got any caps?
I think he's got 1 cap. He did get called up once.
Yeah, he has been in the England squad, but
because he's had a pretty decent season, to be fair. Well, I was just trying to think of left backs.
I mean, West Ham in general have been pretty solid. I mean, hence why Rice this season has gone up in, leaps and bounds.
We've got good options. We just don't have anyone who's excellent and stands out. Because obviously you've got Shaw, Chilwell, Saka, Trippier can play there. Cresswell. I'd even argue Charlie Taylor from Burnley's not that bad. Like he's not like as good as everyone else there.
If we needed him,
I wouldn't be that bothered if you really had to play. But yeah, I think right back is definitely our strongest position. Walker, James, Trent, Wan-Bissaka, Trippier, James Justin's fit. James Justin.
Yeah.
It's Matty Cash.
There's fucking shitloads of right
Matty Cash as well.
Matty Cash.
He's another one.
Lamptey's a right back, isn't he?
Who?
Lamptey.
Yeah, Lamptey's
Brighton, right back.
Lamptey's got 2 or 3 years ahead of him before I think he gets an England call up though.
I know. I was just thinking of right backs.
We've got that to look forward to at least.
Yeah.
Right. So if those are our squads, and if they're at full strength, where do you see us getting to?
First knockout round.
Yeah. Nah. This is such a good chance, and
I think we could win it if everyone put a shift in every game and everyone performed to the best of their ability, like they do at club level.
Yeah. If we're playing full strength teams and we've got all this quality, like we've got, obviously you could argue we ain't got very very good centre backs, but in every other position we've got such quality that we do stand a chance of winning it. Realistically,
our attack is so good.
It is
so good,
but we don't play well in big games.
Yeah.
The first
as soon as someone like Portugal, France, Belgium, Spain comes up against us, they are going to thrash us.
In the first knockout round, we definitely have the winner or second place of a group that includes Portugal, France, and Germany.
Yeah, we're losing.
So we've probably got one of them 3 teams in the first knockout round, and we will go out. That's what I think.
I think we'll go to the quarterfinals and then get booted out.
So if we get to the quarterfinals, and we've got Portugal, France, and Germany, do you see us beating all 3 of them? Because there's not one of them. I think
the team we stand the best chance of beating is probably Germany.
I think Portugal.
Yeah.
Because I think Portugal could win it, but I also think Portugal either turn up or they don't. They're really hit or miss.
Yeah.
I mean, so are Germany and France realistically, but they either are like a 10 out of 10 or like a 3 out of 10, whereas Portugal are like either like a 9 or a 6.
If we come up against France are beating us 4-0.
Yeah.
Like I can see us just getting absolutely dominated.
Can win it. France and Portugal.
I can just see anyone having our pants down. I
think Denmark beat us.
I think it's because of the way we play. We just play so boring. Like nobody pushes forward. It's just sideways and backwards football every single game. Like
that international break, I was falling asleep watching.
International break is the worst part of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say we're going to win it. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to say we're going to win it.
We do.
Yes, I'll join you. I'm going to say we're going to win it as well. Just in case.
We have the squad to win it, but I'm going to predict quarterfinals.
Yeah, I reckon quarterfinals sounds right.
I think we'll come second in the
win
group. Second in the group, we'll play France in the first knockout round, who win their group, and we'll lose because I think Croatia will beat us. And then I think we'll draw with Scotland just because it's Scotland, and we'll get a really ropey 1-0 win against Czech Republic.
I can see that actually quite well.
We'll lose 2-1 to Croatia. We'll draw 2-2 with Scotland, and we'll beat Czech Republic 1-0. We'll
I feel like Scotland's going to be a 1-1
to France. I feel like it's just because it's Scotland, they're going to get a really crafty point, and it's going to be like a game where we're all over them.
We're going to score.
We've got this quality, and it's Scotland, and we'll probably
score in the last 3
draw
minutes.
or lose to Scotland.
Definitely, that is their final. Scotland's final.
Yeah,
but we're
If
going to
they
win
beat
it.
us in the group stages, that will mean a hell of a lot more to them than it probably would for us if we won the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's definitely happening.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm so excited to lose.
So,
I'm excited.
I'm excited to be in pubs and to be in fucking pub when we score. And we literally can go mental and drink pints and look at ladies.
yeah.
I think we're going to win because like we've been stuck in this situation for so long, not only for England, England are pretty shit, but we've been in COVID and all the stars are going to align and we'll all be in the pubs and we'll win the Euros and then it'll be back to normal life.
That would be a dream. But that's all it is.
Okay.
A dream.
Very
Yep.
It is, yeah.
I mean, to end it off, I don't think Southgate should be manager anyway, but yeah.
We could go on for hours about that.
Yeah.
That's maybe another one to do when we get knocked out in the first knockout round.
Yeah. Why was he in charge?
Mm-hmm.
They've kept him in charge just because he got so far in that World Cup, I reckon. Just because, you get that far with England in a World Cup, you kind of get given a second chance.
You're a god.
But yeah.
We had quite a good run of games though. Like
an easy run of games.
As in who we were playing, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please give the video a like if you liked our teams, if you liked our discussion. Comment down below if you agree or disagree. Comment, say your lineups and what you think it should be. Thank you to Lewis, Charlie, and Finn for joining me. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.